Into match number 7, we go now over in League 2 with Gareth Ainsworth's Gillingham leading the charge, that's right. But will they still be there after this coming weekend? We're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again in another video. Today we take a look at match number 7, that's right, over in League 2 with Gareth Ainsworth leading the charge with, of course, an unbeaten start to the campaign. But he can be caught this weekend with a whole host of clubs, all the way down to 6. Could be top of the pops. But who will be there? We'll get into all of that and more in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want subscribe for League 2, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. That's right. Crewe falling off the face last week with a big old defeat. Swindon moving now into those playoff spots. But what about the going down? Shrewsbury, Cheltenham, goodness gracious me, could be back-to-back relegations for the Shrews. Anyway, let's get into the deep end and remind ourselves of what went on last time around. And of course, big shout out to the members of the patrons. You know who you are. Alrighty, folks, here are the results from last weekend's action. My predictions are on the left-hand side right here. The real deal was right on the opposite side. So here it goes. Kicking off. I don't think it did good in League 2, but we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't start off well. Salford could only draw with Cheltenham 1-1. Good point for Cheltenham. Grand scheme of things. Barrow did lose at home in the Peterborough derby to Fleetwood. Crewe Alexandra with a 3-0 loss at home as well to Swindon Town. You know, Holloway's boys are on the charge. Bromley with a big 2-0 win over Harrogate to keep themselves also moving in the right direction. Actually, third right now, Bromley. Cambridge, 2-0 winners over Newport County, on with a 2-1. Barnet with a point away, actually at home to Colchester. Chesterfield could only draw 2-2 with Crawley. Grimsby Town, after their big old week in the Cup, losing though, hangover against Bristol Rovers. A big win for them as well. MK Dons losing as well to Walsall, 1-0. Oldham also doing the same against Gillingham as predicted. Shrewsbury Town Stanley did draw 0-0 on with a 1-1, and Tranmere Rovers did lose to Notts County. But the state of play is over the table. It looks a little bit like this with Gareth Ainsworth boys kicking ass and taking it with 14 points at the top of the pops there, with Chesterfield and Bromley also join them in the promotion stakes. Going down, it is Shrewsbury, it is Cheltenham. Of course, a bit surprising to see both those clubs down there. And in the playoff packs there, we've got Crewe, Swindon, Walsall and MK Dons. But that can all change this coming weekend with the likes of Salford, who are all down to 11th, could jump as high as 2nd in the league. So it is still airtight over there. Meanwhile, we do have the Prediction League and I'm probably coming at you. Meanwhile, we do have the Prediction League, and it is, of course, live. I am getting to you. I'm going to get to it very, very soon. So just keep on doing your thing. And I hope next week, I have a lot of time on my hands this coming week. So we will get you an update on that for the next round of matches. So sit tight and hold on. We're going to give you all right then, folks. These are the games that are coming at you this coming match day. Of course, International Week for the majority of the top flight leagues. I don't think League 2 is affected in any way. So we're going to start with a trip to Wales. Newport County up against Bristol Rovers. And of course, it's coming at you the 6th of September. David Hughes' boys are currently 20th. That's all the way down there with 4 points for the campaign. 5 defeats on the spin for them. Up against Bristol Rovers and Darryl Clark, who has turned a massive corner. They are 16th right now, 7 points for them, and they won 3 on the bounce. They play all these Welsh wonders 7 times to 2013, winning for them. That's the Newport lads. 3 wins for Bristol Rovers, and there's been no draws. The last time they played in Wales, in the league, it was a 1-0 win for Newport County back in March 2022. Newport on the back of that loss against Cambridge. Bristol Rovers on the back of that 1-0 win over Grimsby. The odds, I think I got odds. Odds for you right here, right now, 60-5 is your Newport County, 5-4 on is your Bristol Rovers, 11-4 is the draw. We're going to go with a 1-0 win. Bristol Rovers, like I said, turning a corner a good part of the season. Meanwhile, Barrow up against Swindon Town. That's right, coming at you over in Barrow on the 6th of September. Andrew Wing's boys are currently 18th right now. 2 wins, 2 defeats over the last 4 matches. They were at Swindon and Ian Holloway, who've won 3 of the last 4 when they sit 5th in the table. They played 8 times since 2021. 2 wins Barrow, 4 wins for Swindon, 2 draws between the 2 sides. They last played in Barrow, resulting in one of those 1-1 draws back in September 2020. So there's Barrow on the back of that 1-0 loss to Fleetwood. Swindon on the back of that massive 3-0 win over Crewe Alexandra. The odds right here, right now, 31-20 is your Barrow. 23-10 is the draw. 70-10 is your away win. That's Swindon Town. We've got to go for a draw here. I'm leaning towards Swindon. Barrow looking a bit dodgy right now. And I don't think they can hold on for victory at the minute. Meanwhile, Cambridge, they're taking on new boys Oldham, coming at you over in Cambridge. Neil Harris's boys are 10th. Just 1 defeat in the last 6 for them, up against Oldham and Mickey Mellon. They're 19th right now, 4 points for the campaign. And they have played Cambridge 5 times to 2018, winning 3 of them, Cambridge winning 1 of them, and there's been 1 draw. They last played over at Cambridge, resulting in a 2-1 win for Oldham back in December 2020. Cambridge are on the back of back-to-back home wins. They're trying to get 3 on the bounce. Oldham on the back of back-to-back home defeats themselves. So hoping to get back on the road where they picked up back-to-back matches without a loss. The bookies odds here, 10-9 on is Cambridge, 16-5 is Oldham, 12-5 is the draw. We're going to go with a 2-0 win Cambridge, though, to bring home the points. Meanwhile, we're going to go Cheltenham. Must need, this is a ding-dong classic. Cheltenham up against Accrington, of course. Cheltenham down into 24th right now with just 1 point for the season. They are winless, though, in the last 5. Up against Stanley and John Doolan, they are 21st with 3 points over the last handful of matches there. 23 times they've played since 2009. 8 wins Cheltenham, 7 wins Accrington. There's been 8 draws, including the last time they played at Stanley. 0-0 it was way back in January 2025. However, they also played back in October 2024, resulting in a 2-1 for Cheltenham at Cheltenham. The hosts on the back of a 1-1 draw away to Salford most recently. Stanley on the back of a 0-0 away draw themselves to Shrewsbury. It's been back-to-back games now without a goal for Stanley. The odds for here, 5-4 is just Cheltenham, 11-5 is just Stanley, 23-10 is the draw. And that is where I'm going here, guys. I'm going with a 1-1 to give them a point in the bag, which really doesn't do them any hope whatsoever. Colchester, a bit of a downward slump for them right now. Up against Crewe, are needing a bit of a revival themselves. They played 25 times, these two clubs, since 2003. 6 wins Colchester, 13 wins Crewe, 6 draws between the two sides. Coming into this Colchester, Danny Crowley, they are 17th right now with just 6 points. Up against Crewe, who are 4th with 12 points and on back-to-back defeats. The last 3 matches, though, between these two sides ended up all square, including a 0-0 draw at Colchester when they last played back in April. Colchester on the back of a draw themselves against Barnet. Crewe on the back of back-to-back losses, back-to-back games without a goal, and maybe a concerning times lining ahead for the Alex. Coming into this, though, 30-8 is your Colchester, 17-10 is your Crewe, 11-5. The draw, we're going with a 2-0 home win. Like I said, Crewe hitting a rough patch right now. They need to turn the corner, and I don't think it's going to happen in this match. Barnet, though, they're taking on Shrewsbury, again, strugglers over at Barnet. Dean Brennan's boys are in 15th with 7 points for the campaign. Unbeaten now in the last 3. All competitions. Up against Shrewsbury and Michael Appleton. They are actually unbeaten the last 2 matches. They sit 23rd with 2 points. They played Barnet 19 times in 2003. Barnet have won 5. Shrewsbury won 8. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. They last played at Barnet. It was a 2-1 win for Shrewsbury back in February 2012. Barnet, though, on the back of a draw against Colchester. Shrewsbury picking up that 0-0 draw against Stanley. The odds for this one, looking at it right here, right now, 6-4 on your Barnet. 4-1 is your Shrewsbury. 14-5 is the draw. I think the Shrews are in a bit of trouble right now. 2-1 win. Barnet will have to take these victories when he can get them. Meanwhile, Harrogate up against Crawley, that's right, coming at you over on the 6th of September. Simon Weaver's boys are in 14th with 8 points up against Crawley. Scott Lindsay, 22nd with just 2 points, of course, winless in at least the last 9. They last played each other over at Harrogate. It was a 2-1 win for Crawley back in March 2024, and have played them 8 times in total since 2020. Crawley have won 4 of them, Harrogate just the once. And there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Harrogate on the back of a 2-0 loss to Bromley. Crawley on the back of a 2-2 solid draw away to Chesterfield. But the odds for this, looking at it right now, Harrogate are 13-8 for the victory. 8-5 is Crawley. 12-2. 12-5 is the draw. This could be a draw. But I've gone with a 2-1 win for Harrogate on this one. Meanwhile, we're going to go MK Dons. They hit a bit of a bump in the road midweek, as did Grimsby. They played 18 times in the past since the year 2000. 6 wins MK Dons, 5 wins Grimsby. There's been 7 draws. MK Dons are 7th, Grimsby are 8th. They're both on 11 points coming into this. Grimsby, though, and MK Dons on the back of defeats. The last time I played at this venue, it was a 0-0 draw way back in April 2025. But what's going to happen in this one? The odds here, 23-20 is your MK Dons, 23-10 is your Grimsby, 25 is the draw. The bookies think it's going to be a draw. I'm going with MK Dons' victory here. I think another post-match hangover as Grimsby is still living off the fumes of that victory against Manchester United in the Cup. It was a good victory, so I'll give them that. Meanwhile, Notts County against Fleetwood. Coming at you over at Notts County. Mike Patson's boys are unbeaten in the last 3. They sit 13th with 8 points up against Fleetwood under Pete Wild, who just lost once in the last 4. They sit 9th with 11 points. They played Notts County 5 times in 2013. 2 wins Fleetwood, 1 win for Notts County. There's been 2 draws, including the last 2 between these two sides at Fleetwood and, of course, Notts County, both resulting in 2-2 scorelines. Coming into this, Notts County with a 2-1 win over Tranmere and Fleetwood with a 1-0 win over Barrow. Looking at the odds here right now, it's 11-10 on is your Notts County, 3-1 is your Fleetwood, 5-2 is the draw here. We're going to go with a 2-1 victory. Notts County taking the spoils. It's Salford next. They're up against Tranmere. Bit of a Northwest Crunch clash. This one over at Salford. Carl Robinson's boys are 11th. With 10 points up against Tranmere under Andrew Crosby. They are 12th with 8 points. They played 12 times since 2019. 3 wins for Salford, 5 wins for Tranmere. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. They last played at Salford, resulting in a 2-0 win for Salford back in February 2025. It's actually been back-to-back clean sheets for Salford over Tranmere, and they're coming into this on the back of a draw themselves against Cheltenham. Tranmere on the back of a defeat against Notts County. The odds right here, right now, is 11. What are we looking at? We are looking at 5-4 is just Salford, 9-4 your Tranmere, 23-10 is the draw. I think I'm leaning towards a draw here. Salford may be the better side at the moment on paper. On a couple of points there, but I just think Tranmere are starting to get some rhythm here, even though they're coming in just on the defeat. Next up, game of the round right here, right now, it's Walsall, it's Chesterfield. Coming out to the best got Matt Sadler's boys are 6 with 12 points. Up against Chesterfield and Paul Cook, who are second with 13 points. They played 19 times in 2004. 9 wins Walsall, 6 wins Chesterfield. 4 draws between the two sides. Walsall winning 3 of the last 4. Chesterfield just 1 defeat in the last 4 themselves. Coming into this, they last played, of course, it was in the playoffs, resulting in Walsall's progression to the final. They last played at the best got was a 2-1 win. That was in the playoff semis. Last time they played in the league, generic game. 3-1 win it was for Walsall. In fact, Walsall won 3 on the bounce against Chesterfield at the Bescott. They were unbeaten against them in the last 5. Also on the back of back-to-back clean sheets, Chesterfield on the back of that draw against Crawley. The odds for this one, 9-5 is your Walsall, 8-5 is your Chesterfield, 11-5 is the draw. I think I'm leaning towards a Walsall victory here. Another clean sheet to boot, 1-0 win. Take it to the house. And then finally, High Flyers Bromley. They're taking on Gillingham. That's another game of the round right there. Coming at Bromley. Bromley are third right now with Andy Woodman. They are 12 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Because Gillingham and Gareth Ainsworth, they just lost once in the last 6 in all shapes and sizes as well. They're top of the pops with 14 points. They played 5 times in 2006. 2 wins Bromley, 3 wins Gillingham. There's been no draws between these two sides. They last played at Bromley. It was a 2-1 win for the hosts back in December 2024. In fact, they did the double over Gillingham last season. They're coming into this on the back of a 2-0 win over Harrogate. Gillingham on the back of back-to-back clean sheets as well, back-to-back 1-0 wins. 5-4 your Bromley, 23-10 is Gillingham, 11-5 the draw. I'm backing the Gills here, another 1-0 win, another Gareth Ainsworth masterclass, and of course taking the 3 points. And that, my friends, will shape up the table to look like this, with Gillingham top of the pops, 2 points clear over Walsall, and MK Dons into third. Going down, still Cheltenham, still Shrewsbury, nothing changes there, but it can all change though over in the Prediction League, guys and girls. There it is on the screen. Get involved with that. We'll see where you all are when we come back, and I promise you we'll be there, of course. Until then though, make sure you subscribe, smash the like wherever you are in the world. Of course, come back for some more drama over in League 2, but until then, I'll see you soon when we return.